Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Okay, so they found the body in a well. Okay, that's what they're saying. The body is in a well in St. Michael. So they're trying to identify, well, that's what they have to do. They have to identify the body as positively Mitchell Nicholls. But he's the one who's missing. He's the one that we heard was robbed. He's the one that we heard there was a fire. It was his car, and someone, when they lit the match, the blowback also impacted the person who was committing the crime. And we're hearing that he suffered serious burn injuries. He or someone from that particular robbery, they're in police custody. So the police is saying that they have one person in custody. I'm hearing from the ground that they have two people in custody. The police never tell everything. They're never going to give all the information. But even when this story first hit and the police put out a missing persons report, why would you do that? We know that the police department in Barbados, they have very vicious type of skills, and they can get information from suspects. They can get the information that they need from suspects. So we kind of knew from the get-go that the police in Barbados knew that Mitchell was deceased. He was undead, and I don't know what games they thought they had to play, but it didn't fly with us in our, when we have our chats. It didn't fly. We knew that something was up, but now they're saying that there is an unnatural death at Exchange Hill in St. Michael, and they have to identify the body. And we have already come to the conclusion that Mitchell Anthony Nicholls, 28 years old, from Westmoreland in St. James, has died as a result of a robbery gone wrong. Okay, we have already concluded that, but it's still good to hear it from the Barbados Police Service, and you can wait. Yeah, you can wait to hear it from them. But we already know what's going on, and we already know the deal. Okay, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but there seems to be a viciousness to things in places that were impacted by slavery, and you would think that they will go in the opposite direction, like be good to each other, be kind and gentle with each other, but it hasn't worked out like that. So I think you can look through the pages of slavery and colonialism and say it was the worst thing. It was the worst thing that has ever happened on the face of Mother Earth. Okay, it's the worst thing you could ever do to people, to enslave them. Look what has happened. Look what continues to happen. You turn on each other, and the same tactics used by your masters, you use against each other. I'm telling you, I've experienced it when I lived there, being robbed and being raped by Mark Thompson. It's a viciousness that is there, and you're going to have to learn more about your history. Is going to have to be taught in schools. I mean, the real history, not the sanitized history. You're going to have to learn to accept truth. You're going to have to face a truthful statement straight on without being ashamed. And maybe for the future of whatever you're going to become, you can pull away from that DNA, the proclivity to hide and to just like put things under the rug and not face up to things. Maybe you can pull away from that and have a bright new day and a bright future ahead of you. But you have to be able to handle the truth. You have to be able to handle the truth. I'm sure you saw the video. I know I'm going off from Mitchell, but you saw the video with that girl being assaulted. I'm going to talk about that under a separate cover. But like I said, for someone who spent centuries in enslavement, in slavery, in chattel slavery, coming out of it, your leaders, your teachers should have pounded it in you that you have to work to defeat your DNA. You have to eradicate what the strands. You have to unravel them, and you have to create a whole new being. You have to create a whole new self. It wasn't enough to domesticate you. That is not enough. Domestication is not enough, because that same urge is still there, and you're still tempted by the same temptations. It's still there. The same props are still there, and you're gonna reach for them. You need to be taught to actually change who you are. You have to create, like even your good book says, you have to be born again. And I'm beginning to understand that book. That book makes a lot of sense. You have to be born again. You have to give up who you are or who you think you are. But then you have to know a little bit about yourself, and you have to be born again. You have to create a whole new different person and unravel that slave DNA that was in you, that you saw, that you're born into, and you're molded by it, and you see your mom, your dad. You have to look at them and say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like her. I don't want to be like him. I don't want to be like my environment. I don't want to be my environment. You're going to have to want it so bad. And that's the only time you're going to see a change. Okay? This is Sherry Veronica.